Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we're going to be looking at the Skull Control helmet. This is one of 3 new helmet sets. I've already looked at the Last Man Standing, which was the green one, and now we're going to be looking at the Skull Control helmet. And I'm sure some of you guys in the comments are going to be going, no, that's not Skull Control, it's called Oddball. But no, it actually says on the box, Skull Control. So, it's got the same style packaging as the Last Man Standing helmet, which I really love this packaging. It just makes the set pop. Like, when you're at the store and you're looking at a bunch of sets on the shelf, these helmets are always going to stand out because you get to see the helmet itself. Plus, the rest of the packaging just looks really cool. So, there's a look at the set. Let's go ahead and get it open. Last time, I just obliterated this package. But I think there's probably an easier way to do this. So, maybe there's an easier way to do it. You know what? Let me close my knife first. Okay, never mind. We're just obliterating it again. There we go. So to get this little thing off, we gotta untie this knot. Like so. And then open it up. Now this one has a silver back to it. The Last Man Standing had kind of a brown. There's our figures and our parts. Oh, there's that little skull. That's really cool. All right, there we go. Okay, so let me put this together and we'll take a closer look. Well, there we go. Everything is put together. We have our 2 figures. So we'll just set those guys aside for a minute, and then we'll take a look at our build here. And the first thing I want to look at actually is the helmet itself. So it's the same design as the first one. There's no change in the mold or anything. But it's in yellow with a black visor. I don't know if we've ever gotten a figure that has a black visor before. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing a Mega Construx Spartan with a black visor. And honestly, I really want to see one now because this looks so cool. And I know I've heard kind of some people being a little confused at why there's a yellow, because we have green and then blue, and obviously the next color would be red. But Mega decided to go somewhere different, and they gave us this yellow helmet. And I was real skeptical at first about this one because the yellow and the black looked like it was going to be a weird combo, and I wasn't so sure about the concept behind the set. But holding it in my hand right now, gotta say it looks really, really nice. So the section that you build is part of a multiplayer arena. Looks like we have some piping in here, so maybe this is inside some sort of industrial center. We have this, what I'm assuming is a goal of some sort. And then we have the skull itself, which sticks in there really good. So let me put that back on there. There's our little skull, and it is printed, and it is an actual figurehead. So we'll take a closer look at that in a second. There's less going on here than the build of the Last Man Standing set. But I think, again, there's just enough to start setting the scene so you can start adding your own stuff. This clear yellow piece is really cool. You can kind of angle it from side to side. There's a lot of pieces here I haven't seen before, particularly this clear one right here, and these kind of holder clip combos. So Again, a little simpler than the Last Man Standing set, but I still think it does its job really well. So here is that skull, and you can see it's all printed up. That's pretty cool. And there's a peg hole in the top. And it comes on this piece here, which is a figure ball joint neck piece on a peg so that the Spartans can carry it and, you know, run it from goal to goal. But the thing that I want to see, I'm sure you know where this is going. Come on, why won't my camera focus? Dang it. Okay, let me just go ahead and stick this on. Yes, it does work. And remember how I said there's a peg hole? That is a very, very dead Marine. Moving on to the figures, we have this yellow Mark 7. But he's not quite just a straight Mark 7 because he has a different chest plate. A chest plate that I think we have on the Series 13 Trailblazer, as well as this fellow right here. This guy is from the Banished Ghost Hijack. So it's kind of unclear what armor set this chest piece belongs to. This is definitely not the Mark 7 chest plate, but I think that's a pretty good combo. He's got the Mark 7 shoulders, but with no print there. The head is done pretty well. Blue visor, got the black print. I think the visor maybe could have been a little more vibrant because sometimes it tends to blend with the gray. But it's printed pretty well. And then around the back, we actually get a clip for holding weapons. And his weapon is a needler with printed needles. That's really neat. The shoulder armors are slightly loose, not quite as bad as what we saw with the Last Man Standing. And another thing I've noticed with these helmet figures is that there's kind of, when you're rotating the arm, there's kind of a couple spots where it catches slightly. So it's kind of strange. Get him posed up. Yeah, he looks really good. And of course, we have to bring in the rest of the Mark 7 so far. I believe I have one of each. I don't think I've missed any. Unless, of course, you count the other variant of this orange dude here. But it's pretty much exactly the same. Bring in the green one. We'll bring in the Series 12 Mark 7. Whoa. Yes, staying like that. And then we'll bring in the Series 13 one, which is now the channel mascot. Look at that. Now, I'm really, really hoping for a purple one next. How cool would that be? Next up is this Spartan Anubis. And interestingly enough, the Anubis actually has the Mark 7 chest plate. So here's a comparison with the only other Anubis that I have. Honestly, I think this guy's helmet is done better. Like, the silver doesn't quite match that of his armor, but it's really bright and clean and crisp. And that helmet is just really, really awesome. The visor's done really well. I will say this mold tends to be a little hard to get onto the neck, and it's restricted by the armor a lot. So he can't really look up all that much. He can look down, but he can't look up very much because of the way his helmet kind of bumps up against the armor. And then this guy has a loose shoulder armor, which is kind of disappointing. But he does have a really, really slick color scheme. I love this blue. And actually, it's a reverse of the channel mascot. Look at that. Dark blue forearms and lower legs. Same color. Those guys look actually great side by side. So this guy definitely looks really good. He's got a few things that are kind of not, I don't want to say issues. Well, wait a minute. There may be an actual issue. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Looks like this upper arm is one of those ones that doesn't allow the arm to go in all the way, and you can see it move around. Either I'm going to have to go to customer service about that, or I don't know, maybe I'll have a replacement. So that's kind of disappointing. What's not disappointing, though, is the return of the chain gun piece. Mega has started trickling this back into the sets, and I think it's been too long since we've seen these in sets, because these are awesome pieces. There's no print on this one, but there's so much detail on this mold. Look at that. I think aside from the Infinite Wave, the last time we saw it was the Halo Heroes George figure, and that's way too long, so I'm really glad to see it return here. Well, there you have it. That is the Skull Control set, and I gotta say, this is another really, really great set in this helmet lineup. So far, we've got 2 for 2. They're both great. There were a few more issues with this one, particularly with this Spartan. Nothing terrible aside from that forearm issue. But again, overall, it's a really good set. We've got some really cool pieces in here. That little skull is so cool. We got the printed needler, which is great. And the production value is just overall really good. So if you can find this, I definitely recommend you grab one. It's just a really, really solid set. And it has a chain gun. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.